So at the minute I'm doing a history series, and I just thought I'd do a series of videos looking at all the countries that constitute what we call the Silk Roads. And I had been doing a lot of study on lockdown about these countries, and these civilizations are fascinating. But I'm actually, like yesterday, I posted the video about ancient Mesopotamia, which is modern day Iraq, and I ended up quite upset and kind of considering whether I was going to do the rest of the videos, because I'm following the same pattern with each of these videos, and at the end of the study that I'm doing for each video, I'm being faced with the reality of what we as a country have done in a really profound and upsetting way. And I live in like this really beautiful place, and I actually really love this country. I think we're a stable, pragmatic country, and the prognosis for the world, now that we've danced ourselves off the world stage, is that things are going to be stabilising. There might be an economic boom, and the prognosis for this country isn't terrible. We'll probably not face that many consequences for it. But I'm kind of doing this structured kind of study about each of these countries and civilizations between here and China. And it's following the same pattern. I start out and I'm looking at the Eurasian steppe, and it's really, really interesting to find out that this is the common roots of all our civilizations in this part of the world, like all of them. And then I'm going through these civilizations that are reaching these immense heights and making these huge contributions to the world. With Mesopotamia, this is the country that gave us the rule of law. It gave us writing. It gave us things that, what happens in Baghdad under the Abbasid Caliphate is the reason that I have Greek literature on my shelves, and the reason we have mathematics and scientific method and everything that we have. I'm looking at Bactria, which is actually modern day Afghanistan, and this civilization has contributed so much. Next week I'm doing a video about the Jordan Valley and the place that we call modern day Israel, and it's really exciting because actually what I'm talking about is a political engine that actually shaped and stabilised antiquity for thousands of years, with women at its core, in a way that's just actually really exciting to study. And I'm actually really enjoying the study about these civilizations, but the same pattern keeps occurring, and I get to the last 200-300 years, and particularly the last century, and its devastation with us at the root. I looked at Neolithic China. I found this really interesting civilization that possibly goes back like 20,000 years. At the roots of just so many things that were pottery and ceramics when we were in our Neolithic period. And then I get to the Boxer Rebellion, and I get to like this country descending into chaos and, darkness for a century, because of what we did, and because they fought us off, their imperial system collapsed. With Mesopotamia, you're talking about this civilization where this is like from very early, this profoundly interesting civilization who gave us the rule of law and are like literally the Garden of Eden. And you're discussing the way that Eridu, the first city, formed near where two rivers meet, the Tigris and the Euphrates, and how sacred this was and important to us. And then you get to the modern world, and it's a chemical wasteland because it was a target in the 2003 Iraq invasion. And we're talking a lot in this country about how we want to understand the Silk Roads. And all of a sudden, on one hand, I have this incredibly detailed and structured understanding of these Silk Roads and these ancient trading relationships that are actually waking up again. And I'm doing like the domestic videos, and I'm talking about the fact that the UK is actually probably going to maintain stability. The world is about to stabilise. We've danced ourselves off the world stage, but these are the countries that we're going to have to trade with. And the role that we have played in their civilization, it's not just, I feel like this is really self-indulgent, and it is a bit, it really is. But I remember when we went to war in Iraq, I was on honeymoon in a city called Valencia at a firework festival, and we were drunk on orange juice and champagne, and we'd been in the fireworks outside, and we came back and we were so drunk that we thought it was fireworks on the TV, and we just, it was us bombing this country. Words like the Kurds and the Yazidis, these names I hear on the news occasionally. All of a sudden I'm finding that these are the actual direct descendants from the biblical Eden. And there's a bit of me, I'm going to keep doing the series, but I actually wanted to share how it feels to actually learn about these amazing civilizations and then to get to the end and have to face up this chunk in their history that's caused devastation, which is about us as a country. And I don't know how to fathom that with this stable, pragmatic country that I actually love a great deal, where I actually, you know, I think we're a really nice country. Because I think about how the world must see us, and I've realised that we're going to have to face up to that as they kind of, as a world emerges where we are not centre stage on the world stage anymore. And I think this video is a bit self-indulgent, but actually those history videos will hardly get any views. People aren't that interested in the depth of these civilizations, and I don't think that's a problem. But I just actually wanted to share like how I feel about these videos, kind of, because actually I spent the day after I posted those Mesopotamia to Iraq videos kind of going, you know, you have actually been oblivious to this. So I'm just going to share that, and I'm going to put it up, and I'll probably get 1 million dislikes, and that's fine.